Hey Eddie,
Hey Laura, how are you?
I'm good, good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Good to see you.
Yeah, it's been a while. Thank you so much for meeting up with me to chat a little bit about your book club. I've heard a lot of really good feedback about it, so I got curious because it sounds like something that I would actually be really interested in.
Of course, it's my pleasure.
So you've been running this book club for how long?
Let me think. I think maybe since early 2018.
What? And I'm finding out just now about it?
I've been keeping it a bit low keyed, but recently there's more people interested. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I can tell because I've heard some of the topics that you guys are discussing. It sounds very impressive.
Well, I really try to encourage members to participate in discussions and engage them on various topics. I think it makes it more fun, and I also think that we can learn a lot from each other, hear each other's opinions and comments.
Of course, yeah, interactive dialogue is always the best. So tell me a little bit more about your club. What kind of books, what kind of Buddhist books are you guys reading?
Well, honestly, a variety of books, including contemporary and scriptures.
Interesting. So what kind of contemporary pieces are you reading?
We read uh, Thich Nhat Hanh, The Heart of Buddhist Teachings, which teaches core concepts such as the Four Noble Truths, Eightfold Path, Dependent Origination, etc.
I haven't read that one yet, but a lot of people recommended it to me. He's a Vietnamese Zen master, right?
Yes, correct. He's also a poet, a monk, and he was also a peace activist.
Oh, yeah, I should pick that up. And you said that you also read scriptures, right? So what exactly are scriptures?
So scriptures are the source teachings from around 2,000 to 2,500 years ago.
And what kind of scriptures do you read? Because I know there are several uh, schools of Buddhist teachings, and if I remember correctly, you follow the Mahayana teachings, right?
Correct. Yes, we do read both the Mahayana and the Theravada teachings.
Ah, okay. So what is exactly the difference between the two?
Without going into doctrinal differences, Theravada is mainly practiced in countries such as Sri Lanka, Myanmar, and Thailand, while Mahayana is mainly practiced in East Asia such as Korea, Japan, Vietnam, China. And between the two, Theravada is widely accepted as the earlier of the Buddhist practices.
Ah, okay. So what kind of scriptures do you read then?
So for Theravada, we we've been reading the Pali Canon suttas, which were translated from Pali, and for Mahayana, we've been reading Mahayana sutras, which were translated from Sanskrit. Note that Mahayana practitioners read both Pali Canon suttas and Mahayana sutras.
Any examples of scriptures?
An example of a Pali Canon we read before is in Buddha's Words, an anthology of discourses from the Pali Canon, selected by Bhikkhu Bodhi, a very famous Theravada monastic. And it contains 10 suttas covering a wide breadth of Buddhist teachings. And an example of Mahayana, we read the Lotus Sutra, emphasizing the one vehicle, skillful means, ultimate reality, and other important concepts.
Yeah, I was meaning to pick up the Lotus Sutra. It's been on my reading list for a while now. Heard a lot of really good reviews about it, so I definitely want to learn more about it.
Well, you can join our book club to find out more.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I definitely will. So how do I sign up?
It's easy. You can join through the Meetup website. It's listed on actually several websites, but for here I'll mention the meetup called Dharma Book Club of New York.
Okay. And where do you guys meet?
So historically, we used to meet at the Rubin Museum's Sarai Cafe, and that museum is located in Chelsea, New York. But we've since migrated to Zoom.
Well, Zoom is pretty convenient because you can join from anywhere, pretty much.
Yes, indeed, that's true.
So you've been running this book club for a while now. Was there a specific audience that you had in mind, or were you looking to connect with a certain group of people?
Yes, of course, I wanted to connect with like minded people interested in Buddhist teachings. But I would say that we are a Sangha for those on the path of learning, from beginners to those more than beginners, some spiritually, some academically, philosophically, and I would say some would call ourselves Buddhists and some would not.
Interesting. So why read sutras and Pali Canon translations?
We read the scriptures, sutras, because I think it helps us understand the core Buddhist concepts.
I see. So can you give me any specific examples of what you learned for the readings?
An example for Pali Canon would be the Dhammapada, and it's considered by many to be the most succinct Dharma teaching in Pali Canon. And a Mahayana Sutra example would be the Dhamma Sutra, and the translation commentary was by Thich Nhat Hanh, and that's a very important sutra teaching on the reality of things, non-dualism, etc.
And any other benefits and examples?
Yes, there are definitely additional benefits. For example, sometimes a Buddhist temple or center may give a Dharma talk based on a certain sutra. And while I think they usually would give the Dharma talk in such a way that you don't have to have read the sutra, but it would be that much more beneficial if you have had actually read it. For example, there was an online series of Dharma talk on the Surangama Sutra, and they were presented by Chan Meditation Center. They're part of Dharma Drum Mountain, and the Surangama Sutra dives into Buddha nature, and we happen to have read the Surangama Sutra translated by Master Hsuan. He's like a very famous monastic from the city of 10,000 Buddhas. And so, by having read the sutra first and then listening to Dharma talk, it would just make more sense and easier to put things together.
Um, and why not read on your own then?
So for many people like myself, we would like to have an opportunity to read, share, and learn, as well as help pace each other to read, because otherwise we may not have the momentum. For example, the Middle Length Discourses is a big translation containing 152 suttas, and we've selectively covered over 50% throughout the translation, and we're trying to continue to do more. And with that many chapters, suttas, it's very helpful to have members motivate each other to cover all the readings.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds motivating. It helps you, I guess, stay on track with your reading, right? And what about the contemporary pieces?
In contemporary Buddhist books, an example I can give is we were reading Vajrayana practice, such as Tibetan Buddhism, and through recommendation from an abbess of a Tibetan nunnery, we read the book Mind Beyond Death by Ponlop Rinpoche. And it's a very informative book that provides a peek into the practices, concepts, and bardo.
Oh yeah, I really enjoyed that book. That's it's one of my favorites actually. Yeah, it's nice. You cover such a wide variety of material. It's really cool. And say, for example, I want to improve my meditation or I want to learn more about meditation. Will the book club help me with that?
Yes, we also read other books that help us practice. For example, we read the well-known book Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind by Shinryu Suzuki, where the book is a compilation of Dharma talks from a series of retreats. And we've also read another book called Trust in the Heart, which is a 6th century beloved classic Zen poem by the third patriarch of Zen. I think his name is Sen San. And it's also known by many other names because it's a translated name. So there's Faith in Mind, Trust in the Mind, etc.
Yeah, I actually remember that poem. It's a really beautiful poem.
Yes, everyone in the book club seemed to have enjoyed it.
So I'm curious, you've been running this book club for a while. Are there any general guidelines that you have?
General guidelines, I would say mutual respect, agree to disagree, give each other time to speak, taking turns and limiting your contribution, adhere to the contents, and also you need to read to participate.
Right. Reading seems like a vital part of joining a book club. And is there a structure to the book club? Do you have a structure?
We generally discuss the chapters in its respective chronological order. The discussion may range widely depending on the participants' level of understanding.
That sounds really interesting. Sounds very engaging. I'll definitely try to join one of these days when I'm free. Um, and okay, so do you have any additional advice to anyone who's interested in Buddhist teachings and learning more about Buddhism?
Encourage you to go read or go to a Buddhist center for further studies.
You should forward me some centers that I can visit in New York.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for chatting with me, answering some of my questions. I'll definitely forward the info to some of my friends who will be interested in this. So thanks, Eddie. This was really fun.
Of course, it was my pleasure, and thank you.
Sure. Well, I'll see you.
See you soon.
Bye.